We're back with Harrowings Live with Hal Gill, your host. Checking out this Storm motorcycle Triumph that's parked up here near my neighborhood. Somebody's got themselves a little boom box on it too, a little wireless Curry Gakon. It's comfortable. Not my cup of tea, really. But you never know what you might find on the passing show. But oftentimes, what you find is this particular intersection. Florida Avenue, Connecticut Avenue, S Street Northwest, my domicile, next to the Embassy of Moldova, and the Embassy of Albania across the street. You can down 21st Street, not going that way today. Trying to get a few more steps in. I'm about 80% of goal for the week, which means I should have walked about 14,000 steps to get up to 100%. I doubt if I'm going to get there, but we'll see. Got a particular route, which I'm thinking of taking. About 93% power. 3 of you on board already. Ever engine lost 5s 100 once again. Hope you're finding this interesting. These guys have got the right of way. I'm making my way across. After these guys are out of the way, considering that the no car's coming, I'm going to make my way part way. Lots of cars coming this way. Somebody wants to honk. These guys are making illegal turns on their scooters. It's not uncommon to see. Come over on my side, buddy. Masked driver. Turning on to Bancroft. Virginia plates. I don't know. I always like to watch what's going on around me. It's my alleyway. And 30 seconds to get across. I'm going to head up on this side of the Connecticut Avenue and on up Columbia. It's Walgreens. They got free flu shots. Try to keep the flu at bay. Heard there's an awful lot of bird flu out there, particularly among cattle and cattle ranches. We do ourselves a big favor by becoming vegan. I am not vegan. Tend to eat whatever I feel like eating, but I am considering it and considering the impact that I have on the planet is a big part of what I do. Did a little elevator pitch about myself recently. It's hard to blow one's own horn, but that's what I am as a futurist of sorts, a visionary who has in mind that with proper investment of resources, we can use our technologies to integrate for the greatest happiness of the greatest number and achieve it. But we need to be willing to change our systems that we use by which wealth is moved around. We could realize that Star Trek-ish utopia that was mapped out for us by Gene Roddenberry, among others, among its writers. Somebody's apparently broken that window. There's been a lot of construction, as you can see along here, digging up, laying pipes. The idea, I guess, to do something. I'm not really sure what. But I guess I could find out with enough metadata. And there's a fair amount of data available to mine. And that's really what's the lifeblood of any organization is its data. I've learned that long ago. And it's often released well understood. The people who control the data control an awful lot of things about the organization, how it flows through conduits of different applications, riding on the infrastructure matters. Processing speed matters. Energy matters that powers these things. And we've got to take all of that into consideration. So take a holistic vision, if at all possible, and see that platforms that make these bicycles available are an engine of commerce. These days, have really impacted the taxis. The taxis are still running. Uber right behind it. Birds. My God, we have the birds singing in the trees. Monument to McClellan there by the construction equipment. It's continuing to lay those new pipes, I think, among other things, who knows. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Advertising on the side of the bus there. It's another service that is provided. What else do I want to talk about? Roger Scott's joined. Sergio Ramirez, Lost Bob's 100. Ever Engine. Good to have you on board. There's no point to the passing show other than just raw documentation of who, what, when, and where, and whatever I happen to think about along the way. And I'm usually thinking holistically about how everything's interwoven, choices we made to put everything in the condition you see it. New bus stop here, new bench. This is the Wyoming. Shows at one time the penthouses here was occupied by Christopher Hitchens, a pundit, writer, some renown. Miss Hitch and society. Wish he hadn't done himself in, but that's basically what happened. Life choices we make, and maybe in some ways having cancer of the esophagus, as he did, gave him an exit. There was some suffering involved. Took a while, but he passed away in 2011 and leaves us with sort of a hole for a voice of his gravitas to sort of help us think more clearly, with a bit more erudition and awareness. We have folks who try to help us with that. These days, I listen to a few of them. I'm not as enamored as I might be by some of them, but I continue to listen. I continue to use my own critical thinking faculties to figure out what's what, who's who, and how we should align ourselves. Across the street, there's Altamont. See its architecture, columns there at the top. It's probably some very nice residences or common space, perhaps. I'm not sure. The Gelmark Towers here, or Gelmark, I'm not sure how I pronounce it. 1930 Columbia Road. Sprayer nozzles. I don't know what they're spraying. So how are we doing on power? Down to 88%. Seems like Gardner's joined. Dr. Scott, okay. The thing about the passing show is it's really not as much fun if you don't talk to each other when you're watching. Tell me where you are, who you are, what lights you up inside, what's on your mind, what does the video stream here prompt in you? I'm looking over at the 7-Eleven. 7 Now will deliver in 30 minutes or less. I don't need any deliveries from the 7-Eleven, I don't believe. 19th and Wyoming Avenue intersection with Columbia. Let's take Wyoming over to 18th Street here, just over the hill. It's one possible route, but I think I'll just keep on up Columbia Road. It's my indication. Way to go. Nice to see a bunch of people out and about on Sunday. It's the 9th of November of 2025. Quite astonishing we've gotten this far, this quickly. As far as I know. Yeah. I could do some research, I think, on some of my different channels. Turning around, watching the changing leaves. See pansies out here. It's warm enough. Probably up in the mid to high 60s. I don't really have to have this jacket on, but I like wearing it. I like advertising. The 50th anniversary of King Crimson actually is what I'm advertising. 2019, that was 6 years ago. 6 years ago today, I was at a Dead and Company show at Hampton Coliseum, or probably just driving down there around this hour, and got parking and headed on over to the show and got my swag because I had super VIP access down to the front row. Well, that's probably about 4 or 5 people back. So what you ran into a guy. He used to run Plan 9 in Williamsburg, Virginia. We have an outlet in Richmond still, but Plan 9 is pretty much gone from Williamsburg. Has been for many years. Can't recall the guy's name off the top of my head, but he knew me, which I found kind of shocking. And then went on from that point to meet my friend Monica Mooring, who I advocate on Facebook a fair amount, trying to amplify her signal through the noise. She's got some good things to say about keeping fit into middle age, particularly focusing on women's health. And I think that's a really important thing. So I do what I can to amplify her signal. Out from Indianapolis, I believe, which is located. She made the transition from being an employee to a self-employed life coach or physical trainer, and takes it very seriously, and it's good to see. I hope that she's doing well. I expect she is. Now that's all game of Beat the Reaper. Keeping healthy, keeping in the game. I'm not breaking any land speed records here, but I'm definitely trying to do what I can with what I have to keep in shape enough to go into my 90s. Not too much to do. I expect I'll be struck dead at some point by just the heart giving out or something at some point. But I think walking is helping. So I'm doing it. I think I'm getting better at it. It's a cypress tree. So fruity cones kind of darkened down. I ran into a cypress earlier today and put it up its cone on Facebook without the context of the leaves. ask if people could identify what it was, because I wasn't sure. But I found out there's a little alleyway there. Stay rad. It's on the ladies' t-shirt or sweatshirt or whatever. Tango Gelato and Coffee. Dollarama Pharmacy. Bus going by, Pepco advertising on it. Our power company for the area. So it goes. Urban Dwell. That building. It's where when Mike Olmert is in town, he stays. Emmy Award winning for Walking with the Dinosaurs back in the 90s. In 1844, the Holstein. I need to talk to Mike, actually. He's giving a tour. I think maybe he gave it yesterday of Easton, Maryland. The architecture there, free tour. I didn't go out there, but I was aware of it. Probably amplified the signal, maybe. I don't know if I did or didn't. At this point, good sized flock of pigeons. It's maneuvering. I don't know if Len's caught it or not, but it was there for a second. Yeah. Commander Scratchers. Oh, there's the pigeons going by that apartment building. Older place, get apartments for rent there. It's called the Melwood. I used to live on Melwood Avenue in Pittsburgh. So keep on walking. On filming. Facing the future. Yeah. And like I said, I think the future can be much brighter, much cleaner, much more healthy for all species, not just our own, with a little mindfulness of how we can apply things like technology that cleans up plastics using specially engineered phages, perhaps. There are many different things we could be doing to augment this planet, help it be healthier. And there are a lot of people who are trying, you know. It's a matter of getting behind them and funding them, as well as identifying them and amplifying their signal through the noise so that people catch fire for the idea, figure out, oh, this is really a good idea, that we save the planet instead of exploiting resources for short-term gain. Long-termism is another term for it. If you don't know about long-termism, you can look it up. I've been steered that way lately, but my thoughts with large language model driven chatbots. And a lot of people are averse to that. A lot of people think they hallucinate too much, and I think they're right. I think that can be fixed. I think it is a fixable problem. Well, we're going to cut the passing show pretty soon. Nothing too new here, I don't believe, but ongoing flow services, as we are basically a service-based economy. And we should all be service-minded of how we can serve humanity in the best ways possible. I've got ideas. I've shared a lot of them. Read them in my feeds if you're interested. And if you're not, oh well, maybe you will be someday. Or maybe it'll be picked up by those who come after and made use of. That's the aim. So we can make use of what we produce in terms of content, constantly streaming through the atmosphere. Oh, sorry. But I'm almost at my destination, a tiny vinyl shop. And then I'm going to walk on from there down Euclid Street till I get to 16th. And we're going to go down 16th. And I don't know exactly where we're going to cut back towards the city. But we'll see what we see. Hope all y'all have a good rest of your day. Stop by Tiny Vinyl sometime, get some business. Like to see it keep open. Find out what his plans are for the future. And Lee, once again in Huntsville, Alabama, you've identified where you're at. Nobody else did. Oh well. Can't really have conversations if we're not really going to contribute to the chat. So I just keep monologuing and we'll end here.